Hello, Internet. My name is Cyrus, and welcome to today's Goonsquad Podcast. I am with Rec. How do you pronounce your name?
Yeah, let's start off with that, because that's the thing people ask me the most. Reckoner Mikey Dark Matter.
Yeah, I.
Yeah, that's a good way to start it.
There's got to be something easier to call you, man.
Call me Mikey.
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 Yeah. Yes, that's basically, yes. That's a good way to start it off, too.
His name is Mikey.
Yeah.
So, Mikey, what have you?
Yep.
Tell us about your last week. Something interesting. Anything.
I'm starting a podcast and it's already chalked. But no. Yeah, that's a good segue. Uh, yeah, it's been one hell of a week, but yeah, this is gonna be topping it off the right way.
Um,
I already got asked before this podcast even happened. Like, I was in someone's Twitch chat because I mod for a Call of Duty Pro player, and someone said, like, it typed in the chat. They're like, "Wow," because I'm a mod there. They're like, "Wow, that's like the longest name on Twitch I've ever username wise they've ever seen." They said I had to turn my phone all the way around just to read the whole thing. So, and then she's like, because it's like a girl. She said she was a girl in the chat because of the username. She's like, "That's the first time I've ever had to say that sentence in a while." I was like, I didn't know how to respond, so I'm like, they? I guess? He said that's the first time I've ever had to turn my phone all the way around just to see something all the way. Because they're like, wow, that's the longest Twitch name I've ever seen. And I'm like, thanks, I guess? So yeah, that's how my day started. Yeah.
uh,
So
my
yeah, that's a good,
yeah.
so, yeah, segue. Go ahead and ask.
You're a segue, huh?
Shit.
Like
I'll be your segue.
no.
Anyways, keep going. Oh, yeah, no. But yeah, that's a joke. Anyways.
We've been talking now for the last few hours, and it's kind of weird to know that we've been talking about almost the exact same thing for the longest amount of time.
I know, right? Now we're finally actually recording this shit.
Yeah, right. After hours of setting up.
Yeah, hours of like just talking about the idea, then setting up, and then we're like, let's just do this.
We just said screw it, balls to the
Episode
wall.
one.
Yeah, episode 1.
Yeah, balls to the wall, deep, deep in there. Going balls deep in the recording this now. If you haven't figured out by now, when you start hearing this episode eventually later, whenever it's posted, this ain't rated PG.
No,
Just
the
just an FYI. Just
pod
an FYI
podcasts
to,
are not
to the
rated.
viewers out there,
They're not rated PG at all.
especially not ours. I mean,
Oh,
fuck.
oh no.
No, yeah, I had to. So that way you have something to edit out later.
Oh, I have plenty I can always edit out later, man.
Well, I mean, something you can actually that needs to be edited out. It's just me saying. Anyways, there we go. We'll make it say a dolphin noise from SpongeBob. That'll be perfect. Censor all the or some shit. Oops.
I might use the dolphin noise,
Anyways, yeah.
honestly.
Yes. Anyways, what's up next? Next question or subject.
Um,
Sure.
I'm scouting the internet right now.
Yeah. I am too, but probably for different reasons. Bum bum bum. That's when we could play the sound effect.
So,
I had to have a sound effect or some shit.
you gotta play the
Wah,
beat.
wah, wah. Yeah, I know about playing in beats. I mean, what? Uh, anyways,
So
yeah,
what
this is good.
anything interesting happening in the world as of late that you caught?
Like in general, like the planet, or like
Just
my
anything that has
just
caught
in
your
general.
attention.
Oh man, and I got Facebook restricted for sharing a meme that was already on Facebook for one, but that's just something small. I mean, oh, it is something that caught my attention. That everyone talked about Elon Musk and like, what's that fucking
Mark
guy? Sorry,
Zuckerberg.
edit it. Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah. That thing is about them somehow arranging a fight between the two or some
I hope this isn't.
whatever nonsense. I'm like, that caught my attention.
I'm hoping this isn't gonna be like Jake Paul and the KSI thing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's. I'm hoping this shit actually. Yeah, you're gonna edit out a lot of stuff I say, but it's okay. We all know this going in. We knew this going in. Anyways, but yeah, I think that caught my attention like very much so when I started hearing about that, seeing it all around. I'm like, I wonder if this is actually a thing that's gonna happen, and what's actually gonna happen.
Yeah, like
Because that, yeah,
I've seen memes sprout across the internet like Mark Zuckerberg is gonna
yeah.
end up peeling off his skin and becoming a giant lizard in the cage.
He's gonna become the ultimate version of both him and Elon Musk at that point. He's gonna absorb him into him
Well,
or
if
something.
I'm
Yeah.
the way I'm picturing it is when people say that Mark Zuckerberg is gonna end up peeling his skin, he's gonna become a giant lizard, right? I'm thinking automatically back to like we're going back to Godzilla versus King Kong.
I mean, that's actually one of the things I joked about randomly with someone too, and no one caught that reference at the time.
Well, yeah, it's my brain instantly went back to that. Like that's a good movie. I hope we see a sequel, and then all of a sudden this announcement ends up happening. I'm like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, for sure. The sequel, then the low budget sequel to Godzilla vs Kong is actually in real life is Mark Zuckerberg versus Elon Musk in a UFC fight.
It's the Netflix.
That's gonna.
It's the Netflix remake.
Oh shit! It's not even gonna be Netflix remake. It's gonna be straight to DVD, pirated on the internet remake, kind of thing. Let's be real. It's gonna be like the most viral thing that gets posted on both Twitter, YouTube, and just in general. If it happens, if it really happens, let's be real.
Yeah.
That's gonna be hilarious. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just scrolling through like world news right now.
Well, that's funny.
So here's the top story of the week. What do you think the Barbie movie is going to be rating at? Like, what is the box office record for it going to be like?
I mean, honestly, I think it's going to make more than what I think it. Like when I first heard about it, before I even knew what it was like, I think it's not going to do well. But then when I actually saw like more about it, so I thought it was going to be something else entirely. When you hear the words Barbie movie, and that's not usually what you think of. You know what I mean?
It's got to
Like,
be
and then I
it's
saw
got to be
like
a
some sort
comedy
of weird
drama.
trailer for it.
It's bound to be
Yeah, which
yeah.
is not what I was expecting it to be. Yeah. I thought because usually before I even knew what the thing even was, someone said something about a Barbie movie. I'm like, what? And then like first thing that pops in your mind is definitely not that. And then when I saw the actual trailer for it, I can't even speak English. A trailer for it, I was like, what the hell? I said this is not what I was expecting at all, but not in a bad way. But it's just like because it's like that's not what I thought of when people are talking about a Barbie movie. I'm like, you think of like the toys or like the other things they've done, like animated, like animated, not anime. There's two different things there. Animated movies for it that's always been around from Barbie stuff. But then you see it's like that, and you're like, huh. I think it might do better than I thought it was gonna do once I found out what it actually was. It might be funny too. I don't know.
I
It's
don't know.
definitely different. I don't know. It's definitely different. I
Just
can give it that much.
just seeing the
It's gonna
trailer
do better than.
just seeing the trailer for it, it was like why? I don't understand the concept of this movie.
I mean, I don't know why it exists unless it's like a parody of itself in a way, but I am not even sure of that.
Has
I
Barbie
was
ever
just
had a
like, this
movie?
is. Yeah, but never like live action. or live
Yeah, it was
real
always an
people or
animated.
actors.
It was always an animated
Yeah, that's what I'm
kids
talking
movie.
about. Yeah, that's why I thought when someone said something about the new Barbie movie, I was like, great, another animated straight to DVD Barbie movie for kids. And then you see that trailer, and you're like, this isn't what I was
This
thinking it was
no, not at
at
all.
all.
But the thing is, like,
Yeah.
the main character Barbie is gonna be played by Harley Quinn herself.
Oh yeah, then that's already gonna get more do well enough as it is because that actress,
Margot Robbie.
yeah, yep, she's very popular, and I mean she did amazing as Harley Quinn. I personally think, and this
Yeah,
movie sees Harley Quinn, and
like I'm.
so I think just having her in it is what's gonna make that movie at least do better than what I was initially thinking. Because
Yeah.
once I saw that trailer, I was like, this is not what I was expecting, like at all. But I said not in a bad way. Because you think of Barbie, you think of, oh yeah, it's gonna be like a cartoon movie for kids. Why would I care? But then when you see the actual trailer pop up on something you're watching like one night, you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's
I
like
was like, that's not what I was expecting when I kept seeing the words Barbie movie. Yeah,
jumping
I
into
think
another topic. I'm reading this news report,
yes.
and it says Earth reaches the hottest day ever recorded 4 days in a row. And I'm reading it as we talk, right? It
Yeah,
says
yeah, yeah, for
Earth
sure.
Earth warmed to the highest temperature ever recorded by human-made instruments when the average global temperature reached 17.18 degrees Celsius or 62.92 degrees Fahrenheit on Tuesday as millions of Americans celebrated the 4th of July.
Wait, 62 point. Wait,
62
what?
62.92 degrees Fahrenheit.
Huh.
It reached 62 degrees more apparently.
Okay. Okay, no, that makes more sense. 'Cause I was about to be like, wait a minute, the math is quick math and it ain't added up. But no, yeah, that makes more
Like
sense. 60 degrees higher than it's ever been.
reading it, it says
Like 62.
the do not travel zone right now is Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana, and Arkansas area.
Okay, well, I'm safe then.
But yeah,
Okay,
right.
cool.
I'm farther north, and
Right, yeah.
we're still suffering up here, man.
Oh, yeah, no, it's still suffering, but I mean, we can still travel. It's state of cornfields. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's not like my Twitter and bio doesn't tell me just the state I'm in. It doesn't tell you where I'm in. Anyways.
Well, I'll be open and honest. I'm in the beer and cheese state, man.
Okay, yeah, I know which one that is, just because you said cheese state.
Yeah.
Beer state's any state, let's be honest there.
No.
But, yeah.
No, we drink more than
Um,
most states.
uh,
We hold
I
out
mean,
of 20 counties, out of 20 like cities and towns, we hold 18 of those spots.
nice. We live in Indiana. I mean, I live in Indiana.
Yeah.
So,
I live in Wisconsin.
At least you have cheese. You know what we got?
We ain't even the cheese state anymore.
I know, but you get my point. At least you guys were in cheese state. I mean, we have cornfields.
We got those too.
Cornfields everywhere, basically. I know, but that's all we. That's honestly all I feel like we have. So it's not even like we have me. That's and I highly think I'm like. Anyways, this podcast when it goes like maybe I'll be the most valuable corn crop in Indiana. Imagine, imagine. Oh shit. We'll plug our YouTubes and our and like Twitch streams and just watch it. And instead of going up, it will go down. Just imagine. I'm just fucking around with that joke. Anyways, but no, this podcast this is really cool. Sure.
Well, it's
Episode 1.
yeah,
We
episode
vibed.
1. We all gotta start somewhere.
Yes, exactly. But no, I thought it was more of a making a joke there. I love all of you. View it once you see this later and hear or hear like view it. Do
Yes.
it.
Do
Do
it.
it. Do it and do it hard. View it hard.
Yeah, I was
Wait,
gonna say view it hard.
Yeah. View it harder.
Harder.
You know you like it hard. Yeah, exactly. God, this is gonna. Yeah, this is great. Anyways, what else can we talk about that's been going on? Hmm. Let's see.
I'm reading up on a few things right now as we speak. It's like
Yeah.
late
I mean, there's been a lot going on. I've seen
yeah,
on
there's
Twitter,
so
like
much
just in
going on.
general. Yeah,
Just
I
read.
definitely have. I've definitely have answers for everything. I'm not saying it's the right or wrong answer, but I can definitely answer on things I get asked on, especially if this stuff I might have a better opinion on or know
Yeah, like
know what I'm
I'm
talking about.
scrolling through Twitter
Yeah.
is just a freak show right now.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen like so many nudes posts recently. It's not even like I'm following any specifically. It's just like they pop up. I'm going through my Twitter feed, going down, just seeing the different gaming posts. Then literally a few posts later, you see like I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying I see a bunch of other stuff. I was like, oh,
Yeah, but
Twitter's like the wild west of
I'm
social media right now.
I'm saying stuff like
Yeah, yeah.
Kane Kaiser out of the group chat. You're only
Oh yeah.
if you're not verified, you can only have like 600 posts a day, tweets a day.
Right.
Like what's that all about?
Right. Uh, I've seen that, but I haven't ran into that problem yet. I don't even think I'm verified. I'm not unverified. I don't know how that works anymore. It's
First
just
off, if
I
you're
haven't ran into that problem myself.
if you're hitting
So
600 tweets a day, go outside, see the sun.
like, are you? Is it like? Yeah. That's how you. Well, I can't say that's how you tan because I do see the sun and I'm still as pale as ever. So
Well, I see the sun for 10 minutes
know,
and I'm
ginger over
it,
here, blue green
yeah, like
eyes.
I'm half
So
ginger, man. Like you're full ginger. I'm half
Yeah.
ginger. So I step outside for 5-10 minutes. I'm burnt like bacon.
Exactly. And I don't tan either. Like if I do get burnt, like shit.
There,
I just when I do get that burnt, I just like peel later and then I'm still pale again. And it's just I'm in pain and after going through that shit. Like I'm just like great. That's only if I'm out in the sun really long time though. I try not to be out that much.
yeah, it's
To the point where I can
I
burn.
was in Louisiana last year, right? I had just shattered my dominant hand, so I had to learn how to be left-handed. And we were out in Louisiana,
Oh,
and
seriously, got
I was out in Louisiana
Had to make that joke there.
just
Yep. Anyways.
sucking in that heat, right? It was the dead middle of August. We were just entering we were going out there at the end
Yeah.
of July, going into August heat, and it was so bad. I don't understand how people can live down there. Like we're out in the woods, just we all have to all have to take a shit and whatnot, and there's no toilet paper. It's only leaves you have to deal with, and when you're so sweaty, it's so hard to take your stuff off and squat, right? You can't tell.
I can agree with those.
You can't tell where the sweat ends and the fecal matter begins. So
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at how you said it.
you have Niagara Falls coming off of your body as well as coming out of your body that you cannot physically understand. Do I wipe yet or not?
I
It's
can
like
honestly say no judgment. I've never had that problem.
it was a weird time. Like
Just
we
just
were
just throwing that out there.
think about this. In the sun, it was 115 to 125 daily. But at night, it was 90.
Right.
It was 85 to 90, even in a building. And we had AC running,
Fuck. Yeah.
so it was like it.
I'm just hoping. All I'm gonna say is I hope you didn't use poison ivy as your leaves.
No, I was actually smart, but I'm not left-handed. So when it comes to being
Oh.
breaking your dominant hand,
Yeah, I can see how that goes.
it gets challenging. So you're like,
That's why I
okay,
feel like people that are ambidextrous have the advantage because they can use either hand.
exactly. It's like
You know what I
now,
mean?
not
Yeah.
my other question about ambidextrous people is, if you're ambidextrous on your hands, does that mean you're ambidextrous all around?
I don't know, but I know it means they can use whatever hand they want for whatever they want and not have a problem, if you know what I mean.
I need an answer to this. Like,
Yeah,
if you're
I can't
ambidextrous,
answer that. We need to get a guest on the next episode that's ambidextrous so we
yeah,
know.
like if you're an ambidextrous, like left and an ambidextrous person, do you still have a
Yeah.
dominant kicking foot?
Or is it just like everything's dominant or the same amount? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're basically asking, hey, we gotta get an ambidextrous guest on the episode. Be like, one of the questions we gotta ask him is like, so if you're dominant in both hands, are you dominant in both legs too?
Like
We'll have to ask.
I'm not an ambidextrous person. I had to teach myself how to use my left.
Same.
I had to teach myself how to use my left hand because I had shattered my right
Oh,
hand. And so teaching myself how to do that, like pick up a fork, right, type
yeah.
on a computer the number or the letters that you want, how to work a mouse. It was
Yeah, that's gonna be
it was
rough.
all backwards, and it was more difficult because my hand was in a
Jeez.
brace.
Yeah, you're playing on inverted with a like basically, but what? Not even controller. It's just like your whole hand for everything.
I've had a buddy of mine when I was driving go, "You're
Yeah.
right-handed, right?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Then why do you steer with your left hand?" I said,
Huh.
"Subconsciously, and I want to believe it's because my first practice in all around driving vehicle for my practice and whatnot for all that was a stick shift." But that was
Okay.
years ago. I mean, I haven't done a stick shift since I was 18, 19, maybe 20 years old.
Right, right.
But then I look back at it and I'm like, well, I did break my hand, so maybe it has something to do with a subconscious level that my left hand is still that dominant hand when it comes to driving.
Huh. You know, it could be.
Because
Awesome.
doing what I do for a living, I drive massive vehicles, right, that are meant to haul dozens and dozens of people at once. And
Yeah.
when I had shattered my hand, I was driving left-handed.
Huh.
So I wonder what it actually has to do. Is it a subconscious to the stick shift, or is it a subconscious to breaking my dominant hand that I used to drive with?
But I feel like it's like to breaking your dominant hand. Honestly, if I had to choose, like, I think it's probably more of that. Because think about it, like once something like that happens and you're forced to use the one hand you don't use for most things as like the hand you have to relearn everything with, it kind of would make sense that that's why you do that, at least in my opinion.
I mean, there's always going to be begging questions like that.
Well, yeah, it's like you won't know an answer to everything. Like some things are just, it's one or the other, but we'll never know for sure
Like
because we can't prove either way. Yeah.
another question that sits in my head about the human body is, how rare is rare? Like, I have cat's eyes. My eyes change color based on mood, seasons, am I allergic to something, all these aspects. Like
Yeah.
my original eye color when I was born was green, but now I have blue eyes.
Oh, I mean, I have blue-green eyes,
But
so
over the
but
years,
they look differently. They do change differently over certain things.
like
Like
over
my
the
mom pointed out.
yeah, over the years, my eyes went from green to blue, but then I noticed, when I get angry or stressed out or beyond pissed, my eyes go back from blue to green with a slight tint of orangish red and yellow mixed into them. And I'm like, okay, what is this? What is this called? And apparently, it's called cat's eye, or central heterochromial eyes. But to have them switch on and off on a command with your emotions,
That's like you basically your eyes are like an emotional and weird thing just because of that. Which is kind of unique. I would think.
It, I was like,
Honestly,
how rare is that to even exist?
probably pretty rare, honestly, because you don't hear a lot of people talk about like it. Honestly,
Like
I think it's kind of rare.
the rarest eye color you can have is like 0.1%, and that's when your eyes are either pitch black, like the whole iris, the cornea, the pupil, everything,
Oh
and
wow!
and pure white. But you can
And pure
still
white's usually what.
yeah,
Yeah,
it happens when you go blind, but apparently there are people on this planet who have pure white eyes.
it's also people that have pure white eyes and are pure white and are albino as well, and they can't be out in the sun at all. Those people did not want to go out in the sun.
Those are vampires. Stay away from them.
I mean, I no. There's two differences. One's do more sucking, and that's the vampires, allegedly. I mean, I don't know. Like maybe a albino person does a really good job too, but in a different way than a vampire would. Anyways,
It all depends on who the person is.
I mean, they may not be able to go out in the sun, but I guess they can do something.
I mean, those are the people
I
that
don't know.
no, those are the people that deserve a pure night shift at work.
Oh yeah, like
Like
honestly,
you
they need
can't
to.
they can't go out
Yeah.
in the
Go ahead.
sun, but are they able to step into a room full of light? Or are they too bright?
I mean, I think it depends on how sensitive they are to the light too. For some of them, like I feel like if it's the sun, yeah, they're not gonna be stepping out on that. But if it's like maybe a computer screen, they can still turn down the brightness. They can still maybe do this for a living or do gaming and other stuff. They just probably have to adjust the brightness down to a level that doesn't irritate them or bother them. I
Yeah.
feel like there's ways around it for some people. There's some people I've seen rare cases 'cause years ago. I watched something about it. There was someone that couldn't really be around any type of light for the most part at all because that's how bad their thing was. It affected them, but it affects some albinos and certain people more than others. Depending on the amount of light.
Well, yeah,
And that person,
you being a full
yeah.
ginger, you understand that a little more than I do.
Oh yeah, luckily I could still at least go out in the sun, and of course, it still bothers me, but not to the point of where I'm albino or. But
Not
this fun story, like years ago, someone commented, I just don't think you know what albino really was, because she's like, oh, you're white. I was like, yeah, obviously, what do you think it was? She's like, I thought you were like albino, because I barely was out around in the sun a lot at that time. I'm just like, do you not? I never said anything to her in person at the time. I was like, do you not know how dumb you? Like, when I think in my mind, I was like, do you not know how dumb that just sounded? Like, I was like, I'd rather you call me a vampire or a ghost or a ginger, because I'm a ginger, obviously. But you know what I mean? Like, just to say, like, oh, you're white. I thought you were albino, because you didn't know what albino actually was. I'm just like, what? Like, I
well.
can go out in the light.
Speaking of that,
Yeah.
I've seen a few video clips of like, what generation are we on? Gen Z.
I don't even know which one I belong to for being 29 and born in 94.
Yeah, there is a explanation for that. There is not a name for people born between 1993 and 2003.
That's funny.
You have you have boomers and you have Gen X, boomers, millennials. There's a no-name gap for like 10 years. And then you have
So
Gen
what?
Z.
So we can literally just make up whatever name for our generation that we identify with or choose.
Well, because we have the knowledge of like
Yeah.
millennials and partially
Yeah.
a knowledge of boomers, but we also have the technology and the smarts of Gen Z. So
So
what I've heard
work.
this combination of what the generation is.
Yeah.
Apparently, this name is the Survivor generation.
Up until we die. That's accurate,
Like,
honestly.
like we have drinking out of hoses. We have climbed on rusty swing
Yes.
sets and whatnot. We have survived spankings, which aren't even. Well, technically, they're not illegal. They're just not allowed.
Yeah, true.
But
I
it's like
remember those.
we don't.
Or they become a part of someone's roleplay night
But we also.
nowadays.
But at that time, we did not care. You know, like
Yeah.
it's the corner. It's a punishment. You're gonna go play
Yeah.
outside. You're not gonna come back inside until those street lamps turn on.
Right, right.
We were locked out of the house all day to go do whatever. And that is because we didn't come inside to play video games, and when we did, it was like right after school when homework was done.
I mean, yeah, if it wasn't summer, then yeah, if I wasn't out playing, my pale self, because I'm full ginger, was definitely playing video games. But I would also go outside too and stay out up until like the lights,
Yeah.
Even then, it just depended on how dark it was. I lived in a trailer park growing up, so there's a little different rules.
Like
A little bit.
What we did, we made
Yeah.
money when we were kids. Like we would go outside, we would bargain stuff. We would get, start up a lemonade stand, stuff like that, and it would just
Yeah, we did.
we
Yeah.
made money at like 6, 7, 8 years old.
You're not wrong, because that's something that actually happened. Yeah.
Like
That's
what
crazy.
are other things from your childhood that we did that kids don't do today?
Ride on top of a moving car in a trailer park for fun, and not get arrested. I did that once.
It's all fun and games till the parking brake comes loose.
Actually, I just ended up like someone on the idiot on the inside who didn't get on top of the car. Well, I mean, maybe he was smart, but he scared the driver and made her go faster. And then, of course, that's when things went bad. And two of us fell off. Guess who was number one?
You?
Yup. Skidded my knee up pretty bad, and I was like, I'm never doing that again. Then we do different stuff. That wasn't that, but still, we never did that again. We learned our lesson from that, at least. Back when you could prank call someone, and unless they knew what a star 69 or whatever the star number was, I don't know if it was star 69 or what. But back then you could prank call people, and it was on landline phones or like just telephones that weren't cell phones.
And there was no caller ID, so you had to pick it
Exactly.
up and find out who was calling.
Exactly, and unless they knew what this, because at the time, people just now were starting to learn what star whatever was, like caller ID it, so they could call it back, but it wasn't like how it is now, So that's something that a buddy of mine grabbed my phone and started doing, and it was all fun and games until eventually someone called back because they actually knew what a star, like how to do it, and yeah, it became a problem. And then my dad, at the time, got home and him and that kid butted heads about that because he was like a year or two older than me, but still, like, it was bad. Let's just put it that way.
It was seen as fun in that time.
Well, yeah, it was up until that moment, but less of my problem because he was mad at him, not me, because he was the one doing it. We were just there laughing about it. But at the time, it was because it was funny.
So I actually have this story, right?
Yeah.
Something that I did growing up that kids won't do today, right? Everything's like safety and you have to be careful with this and that. I was not taught that as a kid so early on.
Right.
Because I used to play baseball.
Oh, okay.
A lot. So I'd be out back, just practice hitting, practice swinging, practice pitching, and all this, doing the running down and back. Those are called suicides. But or in today's world, the fitness gram pacer test. Anywho,
I remember that.
Oh, I
hated that test.
Hated it, but at the same time, you have to give it a lot of appreciation because it did work a lot of your core strength, along with your cardio.
Yeah, true.
And
now I have stamina that could, like, people would be surprised about the amount of energy I could do stuff in.
Yeah.
But maybe that has something to do with it. Or maybe I'm just.
But what I'm trying to say is, back in this time, I was practicing for baseball, and I have my neighbor had a shed, but one of the doors was always locked, and we couldn't figure out why.
Okay.
And if you're a car person, I am so sorry for saying this, right? Because I was practicing my hitting on a real baseball. And I had shattered the window to this guy's shed, right? This is a story that maybe 3 or 4 people know of, and now
Oh,
the world can hear it.
well, I mean, it's years later. You're safe now, right? Right, good.
Yeah, right. But it had shattered the window, but there was a second shattering behind it.
Oh,
I was like,
oh,
okay, there. I didn't think much of it at the time, and the older I got, I'm like, okay, I don't understand. Why this guy came out yelling at me, saying that it was priceless. It's priceless. It's priceless. I had no idea what he was talking about until he tells me that the car on the other side of that door, that window that I had just shattered, was a priceless 1958 Chevy.
oh.
I had no idea.
Wait.
I had no idea that it was on the other side, and I had the. I didn't like get physically hit or anything. It was the weirdest thing for me to experience because I wasn't a car person at the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, when you
Still,
hear the words priceless and Chevy, like, that doesn't click for me either
but
at,
I
at the
wasn't
time.
a car person. I was a kid practicing for a sport that he loved so much, and I had no idea what I had done until years later when I figured out that this car was not only priceless, but there were only 300 ever made.
Oh, okay, that's where it adds up. Yep.
So
That's
I didn't know how valuable this car was. And after I had shattered the windshield on that car on accident, they started scrapping it for parts
dang.
because I accidentally ruined a priceless car.
Wow, dude,
And
that's
it has
that's
been
nutty.
that is a story that has actually happened 15 years ago.
Wow. Well, that's the first time I could ever hear the word. I've ever heard the words priceless and Chevy, and now used in a sentence.
Yeah, I didn't think much of it at the time.
Well, yeah, like
I'm not a
someone
car
just says
I'm not a
priceless and
car
stuff.
person. I see a car.
Same, but now that I know that it was only like 1 out of 300 in existence, that's totally sort of justifies on
It
why the guy would flip like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
it wasn't just some
it
ordinary.
wasn't just some Chevy truck just behind the car, like just behind the
No,
shed.
the guy, he wasn't just any guy.
Uh,
He was I can't remember what his job was. It had something to do with like racing. But
oh,
this guy was like the landlord to the house next to mine. And
oh,
it was weird because after he had passed away, the position went down to his son, but the guy was like 70, 80 years old at the time.
yeah,
And
yeah.
when he passed away, after starting to scrap the car for parts and selling them and making money off of it, I I had just realized how important that car was to him.
Dang.
Because now I'm starting to realize if you do the math, this car and this guy are roughly the same age around the time.
So, and if he's someone that used to race, he maybe used to race that car. Oh,
Exactly.
oh.
So it's like I not only accidentally destroyed a man's car, but that may have been his prize car.
Yeah, it could have been like, who knows? It could have been his race car. He won races on at the time. It could have been a car he won for winning races too. Like, I don't know.
Exactly.
Like, and that's crazy.
And now that car, that whole shed, that whole everything over there is completely gone.
So is he. I mean, you
Well,
know.
rest his soul. But
Oh yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace. I can't say I know what a soul is, Ginger over here. Gosh.
rest.
Anyways,
I know what a half a soul is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Accurate, accurate. That'll be our theme. We'll always go with that. That'll be part of it.
You
I
should
mean,
you should change your profile name to Jinja Ninja.
Hey, they'll definitely see me coming, so it couldn't be Ginger Ninja. But I'm able to plug in things like my YouTube is Ginger Dark Matter, but Twitch is Reckoner Mikey Dark Matter, just because really long names. Apparently, I've been called everything when I come into someone's stream chat for the first time, like Reckoner or Mikey or Dark or Matter or sometimes a combination. Like, what do I call you?
I
I'm
don't
just
know
like,
what to
yes.
call you.
Like I've literally like some Twitch chats I come in they're like Reckoner, some say Dark, some say Dark Matter, some say Matter, some say Mikey, and like I got called Mike today too, and someone else streamed. They're like, they had the PS, they had like a stress moment because I guess they had a bad experience with someone else named Mike. I was like, because just he started calling me Reckoner. I was like, you can call me Mikey if it makes things a little bit easier to say and also less of a like stress thing. Because I said I don't know I didn't ask what it was about, and because it doesn't involve me. I know it's about someone else named just Mike. So I was like, you can call me Mikey if you want, or Reckoner, whichever one you prefer. Like, okay, thank you. You know. But I guess they had a bad experience with someone else,
Yeah.
is what I'm assuming. Yeah, and it's not my business, so I'm not gonna ask. It's all
So
good.
so going through a few more news things, right?
Yes.
J-
Yes.
the actress Jennifer Garner is expected to
Okay.
return as Elektra for Deadpool 3.
Oh hell yeah! There's gonna be a Deadpool 3. That's good news for me.
Well, you have here's other things about Deadpool 3. Not only do you have Deadpool, but you also have the likes of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. You have
Hell yeah!
yeah,
Sorry, I love that.
you have
That's like,
Cyclops is returning.
oh, I didn't know that, dude. Why didn't anyone tell me about this news? I missed this one.
You have
This is what I didn't.
you have Storm coming back.
Oh, whoa.
You have
Huh.
it's a questionable up in the air, but they're talking about Ghost Rider.
Oh, that'd
Which
be interesting. I bet if he
if
does, he's probably like a cameo.
if
That's
you're gonna
something
have
funny.
but if here's my thing though, if you're gonna have Ghost Rider in the MCU, which Deadpool 3 is looking to do,
Yeah.
at least make it a standalone movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's technically. I know. Like, I don't know if it counts as MCU. Ghost Rider has technically appeared in Marvel movies because the whole. I mean, God, they separate their own universes even in their movies, which is confusing as. I will say this about Marvel: that's confusing as fuck. Which, as a person who read a lot of the comics and like stuff, it's just sometimes it gets confusing when they do it with movies. Like, oh, this is in the universe, but this isn't. But this sort of is. I hate
Yeah,
when it's too
I hate
convoluted.
when they do
It's
that.
making weird sense.
But
Yeah, I hate when DC does it too,
they
unless it makes sense. Like
there's
one Joker movie that made sense.
one Marvel movie that I am excited to see, and it has nothing to
Yes.
do. It has nothing to do with this year.
Yeah.
They announced World War Hulk.
No way. I did not
Do
even
you
know that was a thing.
do you remember that
Holy
comic
shit.
series?
Dude, vaguely, but yes, that was crazy
That
comic book series.
that comic series was all about Wolverine versus the Hulk.
Dude. Yeah, it was. Dude, that's bringing back some memories right now. I read a lot of comic books too.
It's
There's
like,
definitely some I haven't reread
can
in
you
years, but still.
imagine the MCU starting off next year with
It's Warble Hulk.
Hulk
Speech
versus
problem.
Wolverine?
Dude, you think
But
they're gonna get Hugh Jackman for that one too? Because
but
that would be epic.
which version of the Hulk are we gonna get?
Ooh,
Are
true.
we gonna get
Well,
are we gonna get Norton Hulk, or are we gonna get Smart Hulk?
hmm. I wonder. Because if we gotta remember how those comic books, um, you think they'll base it more off the comics, so he'll be like he was in that, or you think they'll leave it off of how it started, or you think they're gonna just separate it? Like, I don't know. But it's gonna be interesting. I want to see how it turns out just for that reason now.
Yeah, because
See what they do.
World War Hulk was probably one of my favorite storylines.
Yeah. It's going to be a good one. That I can't wait till I hope they eventually get to the Venomverse part of the MCU and eventually later on. Like, because
They
I've been reading.
can't.
Well, no, oh well.
Spider
So it's
Spider-Man.
I'm not talking about Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, anything Spider-Man related. got taken back
I
to
was just,
Sony.
oh, I didn't mean like Spider-Man crossing over. I'm talking about Venom itself because you know how they do the Venom movies. This is actually stuff I'm talking about. Uh, there's a Venom storyline in comics. I don't know if a lot of people know this unless they read a lot of comics. Venom has his own comic book series, by the way,
Yeah, that's
like Venom Day.
like they have
And there's a lot of
of
yeah.
comic
So
books for like individual characters. It helps build up their character development.
and there's some that like aren't like they're still in the main universe, but they're not technically crossed over with thing. But I would love to see. I know there's going to be another Venom movie. I already know that much, but
And
probably won't have Spider-Man in it because
I hope
that's
that the villain in that
yeah.
one will be Toxin.
That's what I was. That's what I was going with it.
Because
I'm hoping they do that.
If they're going in the comic book arc, right?
Yes,
You have
that's what I felt like.
Venom versus Riot, and then
Yep.
the second storyline was Venom versus Carnage, and then after that, Spider-Man and Venom had to cross. No, Venom and Carnage would have had to have crossed paths eventually, like mashed together at some point to create Toxin.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm wondering.
Except for leaving.
The only
Because if they separate Spider-Man from it, obviously.
The only thing that would throw me off is if Spider-Man is a part of the MCU, but trying to get crossed back into the Sonyverse. The only thing that throws me off with that is the upcoming Beyond the Spider-Verse, because that one is said to go from comic book to live action somewhere in the movie. Because if you're like, the Spider-Verse has always been a comic book cartoon movie.
Yes,
but
yes.
Going beyond that, you have to think.
Yes.
You're gonna go from a comic book cartoon arc style with a live action character in the movie.
Interesting.
Spoiler alert to those who have not seen Across the Spider-Verse. There is a live action cameo in that movie.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and so if you're talking Beyond the Spider-Verse, you have to also think they're going to go from a cartoon comic book version to a live action version somewhere, which means we are going to get a live action Miles Morales for the first time ever in the MCU.
Which means if there's a possibility he could become
the next Spider-Man with the Avengers.
Yes.
Which I would love to see.
That'd be cool.
Miles Morales is hands down the best Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think it would be a really good idea, honestly. I think, anyways. But also, like, speaking of Venom, Planet Symbiote, was a later storyline they did after Venom versus, I don't remember when in the comics, but there was, later down the line, it was more than just Venom versus Carnage, and then Venom versus... There was actually a whole, thing where there was more symbiotes and later on, so I wonder if we'll ever get to the point where, a Venom, that storyline, or even farther if they really want to go deep in it. But that'd be really interesting, you know what I mean? But what you said is also very exciting possibility, because that sets up so many things they could possibly do with it. Like Miles Morales could be part of the MCU. That would be something amazing for them to do. That no one unless would see coming.
Unless you're working on the movie itself, nobody would see it coming. They would think,
exactly.
It's just gonna be an animated movie, and then there could be a mid-credit and end credit somewhere close to the end of the movie where they go from comic book animated to a live action version, which would be interesting because I actually have a theory about one of the characters in Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah.
So the theory goes is, have you seen or read anything about what's his name, Miguel O'Hara?
Why does that sound familiar?
He's an alternate version of Spider-Man.
Okay, then yes.
So here's the working theory, because neither in the comics nor in the movie does it state he was ever bitten by a spider.
You're right.
So there's a lot of evidence to prove this. One, he doesn't shoot webs out of his body. He can't stick to walls. And if he had spider senses, he would be able to sense Miles Morales entering the jump between universes.
Yeah.
So
That sets up
why
things.
why can why is Miguel O'Hara like the way he is? Why is he so determined to make sure the canon event between every Spider-Man happens?
Huh.
If
You think
he's not a Spider-Man.
he's trying to set something up?
Exactly.
And I'm wondering if it's what I think it is, but I want to hear more about your theory.
The working
'Cause,
theory
like,
is Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, is not a Spider-Man. He is a replacement. He was supposed to be the original Spider-Man from Earth 46, I think it is. The spider that came
something like that.
the spider that
Yeah.
the spider that originally bit Miles Morales, which is why there is not a single Spider-Man on Earth 42. No, it's Earth 42. That's the spider.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's that working theory that O'Hara is mad at Miles because that was supposed to be his spider, and he somehow knew about it.
Huh. Yeah, because like we haven't seen anything about much about Spider-Man 2099. I remember reading some of his comic book storylines, so that might actually check out within how this theory is, honestly, because of how things have been going and other stuff. So you might have a point there.
And it's gonna suck because I
Oh
think
yeah.
it's March or May of 2024. They're gonna release Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna be a lot of
I mean,
thinking and waiting.
until then, like until we have actually end up seeing it and then finding out for sure. But definitely in a later podcast, one that after that's come out, whether if one of us has seen it, as well as one of us has seen it, we'll have to. Even if I haven't at that time, we can still do the episode and definitely talk about it because I'm cool with that at that point. Hopefully, I'll have seen it.
Moving on to other movies while we're on this topic.
Yeah, that's a good topic. Good
What
segue.
from now until the end of 2023? What is the
Okay.
most anticipated film of the year, in your opinion?
Hmm. Can you give me a list of anything that like is actually coming? Like, just name off some, and I'll tell you what I personally feel like about them. Cause it's just been, I'm not sure what else is coming this year. What's supposed to be.
We have movies like Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom. We have
Not that one. I do like DC, but not that. I also
Cra-
like Marvel, obviously.
Craven the
What was that?
Hunter.
Interesting.
I mean, he's a Marvel legend, but they
Yeah, he
botched the
is.
whole storyline.
I know. That's why it's like with him, it's just
It's
like
but
they botched a lot of stuff. So
yeah,
him, I'm least excited about that one. Honestly, I feel like if I had to choose between him and the Aquaman, I'd probably just choose the new Aquaman. Let's be honest.
I mean, I've seen the
Just
trailer.
for that.
I've seen the trailer for Craven. Craven does look interesting, even though they messed up the whole storyline because they did say that they're not going to go comic book lore off of this movie.
True, true. It could still be good, but I'm also kind of worried sometimes when they do too much off of, you know, but or not enough off of it too. So
You have another Marvel movie, The
okay,
Marvels.
huh?
That's
I
supposed to
didn't hear about that one.
that's supposed to have Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, Photon.
Ooh,
I
okay.
think you're supposed
I
to
feel
get.
like that
I think you're gonna get White Vision in that one because he did escape at the end of.
WandaVision
Yeah,
or what was it? Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that might be good. That might be good. Like that might be like an unexpected sleeper hit. You know what I mean?
here's one.
Something.
Here's one that I have seen the trailer for a dozen times, trying to pick it apart. It is personally one of my favorite games on the planet. The
Okay.
Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
I haven't seen the trailer for that, but I keep hearing people talk about it all the time, and I'm just like,
The trailer.
I've seen the game.
It is. I've played the games. I have watched every little Easter egg. I have studied this game for years. You can mistake me, but it is one of my favorite games of all time because the creator was a small town businessman as a manager at a Dollar General.
Oh, dang, that's some
And
interesting.
creating the first Five Nights at Freddy's game was supposed to be his last attempt to be a game maker.
And then it took off like
It
big
took
time.
off. It took off because of very big YouTubers.
Yeah, that's crazy how that works too. Honestly,
Like
sometimes it has this.
the works of works of Markiplier. He
I know him,
he
like
openly
not on a personal level, but he's awesome.
he openly stated he doesn't want to play the game. He didn't at the time. He did not want to play the game. He thought it was stupid. He thought it was dumb. And after playing the first night of the game before for his first video for it, he had nothing to do with it. And then he found out he likes it. The people around him like it. The viewers loved it to the point where they begged him to continue playing it. And now he is the king of Five Nights.
Yeah, I also remember at the time when he first like did the first one, he was also because like he didn't like jump scares. Like he was honest about.
He doesn't. No,
He just,
it's not the jump
yeah.
scares he's afraid of. He is afraid of
Oh.
mannequins and living animatronics.
Oh, so that's why he didn't want to play it originally
He
and do more of it.
he does not like any. It's I don't remember the name of the fear. He doesn't like anything that is humanoid
Yeah.
and has a face.
That isn't supposed to be. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I've heard of that figure. I just can't think of the name. But now that adds up.
It's like the. It was his biggest fear, but it is one of his best.
Most popular things.
Yeah, it's his most popular things.
Yep. Accurate. It's crazy how that works, isn't it?
It's called auto. How do I pronounce this? Automatonophobia. It is the
Yeah.
It is the fear of human-like figures such as mannequins, wax figures, statues, dummy animatronics, and robots.
Yeah.
Markiplier has neither confirmed nor has he denied a cameo in that movie.
Oh.
So in the trailer, there's a fight scene happening in like a water fountain in a mall. And
Yeah.
There's the character's name is not announced, but the man that is being beaten up and down into the fountain. If you pause it at the right moment, it looks like Markiplier.
Huh.
And
Interesting.
because that movie is coming out in October,
Oh,
he
yeah.
he will not speak out on it. He won't say anything about it. He says he's working on so many projects this year, including a movie of his own. He won't,
Ooh.
that every time he's asked this question, are you in the Five Nights movie? He merely avoids the question, like it's never been said.
He knows if he answers it in any specific way, it's gonna
trigger the internet.
Yep.
Like I get it. That fan base is so massive. Like I remember the 48-second clip trailer that we got a few months ago. When it first released, it hit 8 million views in under 24 hours.
Hell yeah. You know that's gonna do well in the box office.
Oh, not just that. It's releasing on Peacock too.
Oh, well then I'll actually be able to watch it.
It's releasing.
Peacock.
It's simultaneously. It will be one of the first, not the first, but one of the first movies to ever release in theaters and on a streaming site.
Nice. I'll actually be able to watch it then the same time you are, because Peacock.
I'm gonna see it in theaters. Like I want to hear reactions.
Well, I'm gonna have it on Peacock because I won't obviously be able to see it in theaters, but still, like I'll be able to watch it. That's good news for me.
The only problem,
then we can.
the only problem crossing between two different platforms out in theaters and on a streaming site would be no movie has ever been successful when released on two separate platforms at the exact same time.
There's been I can think of I know there was one, but I can't think of what it was. At least one or two that managed to do that, but it's very rare. So you're not completely wrong.
And
Like,
this is coming from the producers of Megan.
yep.
And Megan,
It's like,
I thought Megan was a perfect
yeah.
thriller horror movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because it was supposed to be originally it was a test movie to see how killer animatronics would react on the big screen. And when Blumhouse seen that this movie was successful, they instantly jumped into the Five Nights movie.
I maybe that's what set up like them making this movie in the first place because it was a test.
Well, they originally back in 2014, the creator was offered to make a movie about this game. And
he said no at the time
because he
so
wasn't sure how many people would be interested. He wasn't going to push something to the big screen if he wasn't sure how many people would see it. But
exactly,
he's been working on the script nonstop for what is it now? Like 7 years? And it's become so popular and anticipated that you could go through years worth of tweets to the creator, who is no longer on Twitter anymore, and I have no idea why. That you can go through years. People are asking, when is the movie coming?
he probably got asked so many times. He's just like, you know what? I'm deleting Twitter just so I don't get harassed.
Well,
let's be real.
Yeah,
people do that.
It says his account no longer exists.
Yeah, he deleted the whole account. He's gone. He was probably getting asked about it, or like so much that, which is something that happens when it's something that has that many people interested in it.
The thing that gets me the most about this movie is this is the creator's final bit of work. He retired. He's retiring because I'm not going to get into specifics. There was something going on politically that he finished the script to the first movie. He has after this, Blumhouse gets the full product of creating the second and third film, which is already in production for the second film.
Right, because that's just how it works with movies compared to games, and if he owns it, yeah.
Do you know who Matthew Lillard is?
Dude, I know that name.
He played Shaggy in Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, dude, I know that.
Now you're going to be amazed when you find out who plays the killer.
No way. Is it him?
Lillard.
Oh, that's gonna be so. I gotta see it now just because of that.
And it works so well because he played Ghostface.
That's what I was gonna say, because his other character, when he wasn't Shaggy, he was Ghostface, the original Ghostface.
And I thought that was,
dude,
I thought that was
deep
amazing. I thought that was amazing news, and
hell yeah, that is great
found
news.
out about this, the whole world tipped their table and fell out of their chairs because you would not expect Matthew Lillard to play William Afton.
I think it's gonna, just because of how well he played Ghostface. That's dude. I couldn't think of anyone. And also, I liked him as Shaggy in Scooby-Doo movie, the live-action movies and stuff. I actually thought he was okay. He's pretty good.
But I think,
but him as Ghostface, so him as a killer and something else, dude, that's a win-win because he does his best work, in my opinion, when he gets to play a killer.
I think there's another person who could have filled that role, and then perfectly retired.
Yeah.
And a lot of people won't know who this is because he was very famous for one nightmare-creating character back in the 70s.
Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund.
Yes.
Yeah,
If if
I
we
knew exactly who you're going with without even because this
if
isn't like scripted. I just knew.
if I had to go, if I had to pick, the hardest decision, if Matthew Lillard would not have gotten that role, I would have had to have
I
said
would probably get him.
Robert Englund would have had to have been
Yep.
a close second.
Honestly, same. Because, dude, like, think
He
about it. Like,
Freddy Krueger is one hands down my favorite killer because you can't fall asleep without dying, and that movie was based on a true story. The very first movie.
yes, the first one was. That
Which
is correct. Not a lot of people know that. Not a lot of
no,
people knew that.
a lot of people don't know that, and like if you read, is Freddy Krueger based on a real story? Yes, there were actual people who would pass away in their sleep for
Yes.
an unknown cause. And the weirdest thing was, these people were people who fought in Vietnam.
Oh, that last part I didn't know. But that is interesting.
It was weird because they would be perfectly
Yeah.
fine. There would be no signs of depression, nothing, no struggle in life, not a thing. And then
Right?
one night they'd all fall asleep and they wouldn't wake up again.
Huh.
It was
So that's what
weird.
probably inspired the person who originally made the script for Freddy Krueger movie.
That's where Wes Craven got his ideas from.
Yep.
Yep. And I was
Smart guy.
That is the Nightmare on Elm Street was the movie that got my attention into the horror films.
Same. That and, well, I guess for different reasons at the time, because I was just growing up with Friday the 13th for the first. That and Nightmare on Elm Street. I like both of those. Like, honestly, not a lot of people know this about me. At least not. I don't think a lot of people know. I love like horror movies and stuff like that, especially like I really love the classics and stuff like that. Those inspired me. Like, I watched those growing up. Probably why I'm so fucked up. Let's be honest. Anyways, like, what that explains a lot, actually, guys. But yeah, that's one of the reasons. But anyways, why I watched a lot of those types of films and stuff, and that's also kind of why I'm like desensitized to certain other things. But like, certain, you know what I mean? You get it.
Yeah.
But I love that genre. Yeah.
Horror movies are like, don't get me wrong. If you look at the ratings of what is a perfect first movie date to take someone on,
they say like horror movies, which is
you would think,
honestly
a lot of people
accurate.
A lot of people would think, oh, let's go see a romance movie, let's go see a comedy
or a comedy. Yeah, but it's funny. It's actually
take them to a horror film. Here's why. One of two things is going to happen. That person that you're with, if you're a guy, that woman is either going to become super close to you because she's afraid and she wants to see your reaction, or she's going to get up and leave, in which you now have the decision to stay and watch that movie or go walk out with that person that you were interested in, because you go out and you.
Or she's going to hold your hand and make you hold it tight because she's scared as hell.
Yeah, but here's why I say, if you're in a horror movie, you're watching a horror movie with the person you want to be with, and say it's a girl, and she is so terrified of the movie she walks out. You, as the man, now are left with two choices. You can finish the movie, or you can go with that person. Now, when I say go for that person, I'm talking you follow them out and you comfort them to that level that they can trust you.
Because I mean, if you stay and watch the movie, if you stay and watch the movie now, it's over. You're not getting a second date.
Exactly. Go out and comfort that woman, make her feel safe. These are secrets that nobody talks about, but upon doing that comfortability, it shows that woman that, one, you're there for them,
and two, you actually care. Like,
exactly,
you chose them over the movie you guys paid for.
Like, don't get me wrong, I've had my fair shares of seeing horror films with people, and I had to learn this the hard way. I've had to learn this rule of thumb the hard way.
Yeah. I think I've only ever been one, like, with a girl that didn't get, like, walk out because she was scared. Like, she actually enjoyed those movies too. Like, there's certain types of people that if they can handle those movies and watch them with you, to still hold your hand, like, when there's certain something that scares them, you know? But I'm lucky in that regard, like, with the ones I've watched them with, you know? So, I got lucky there on those dates. But usually it's one of the two things. They either freak out and you comfort them while there, but if they get up and try to walk out of the movie, you better follow them so you
Yeah.
can like, yeah. Because if not, then you're definitely not getting a second date. That's
No,
for
you're
sure.
not getting a second chance.
Yeah, or in general, like
It's
you're done.
yeah. You like
If,
you have
unless
messed
they're like
up.
very forgiving, unless they're very forgiving and like they're like, let's just never see another scary movie together again, and then everything will be fine. Which at that point you better be counting your blessings. You're like, I just got the luckiest
Yeah.
like news
And
ever. You must be one hell of a guy if she says that.
you have to
If
have
he struggles with it.
you have to have something special if she forgives you for that.
Or or yeah, I was gonna make a joke there, or something that she likes.
There's got to be something.
Yeah. Whether it's like physical or not, like it's something that kept her around. I don't know, but still, like it's something. You have something that she's like, you know what? I'm
You
not
know,
gonna leave,
I'll forgive you this time.
right? But next time we'll not see anything scary, and just be count your blessings if that's the case, because you're like the luckiest person on the planet.
If you okay,
And I'm
if she's afraid after that, if she's afraid of horror movies after that movie,
yeah,
offer a second movie date, but
and
with
this time pick something not scary.
pick a comedy.
Yep. Because that's one you should go. Like, if the person doesn't like horror movies, then let's bet. If especially if they like comedy and they like to laugh, go to a comedy, something with comedy.
Exactly.
It can even be action comedy. That'll be fine still too. If you like action and still comedy, then it's like golden. Like, definitely something that'll make her laugh. Because I found out people like to laugh.
Well, yeah.
Obviously,
I
I
mean,
mean,
look at the
yeah,
world. Look at the world around you. You know,
yep,
we work so much. We focus on, you know, we have to bring in or we have to bring in money to pay bills and afford our living. To the
right,
point where a
right.
lot of people are so dragged down that they don't want to do anything. So when you have a fun time, you get to see something that's hilarious. It's something that's making you laugh so hard you're gonna pee yourself.
Yes.
That is moments that people want around them.
Exactly. I
Like,
think that's why people get along with me well, because I'm not trying to, even when at my worst, like I try to make people laugh or like just forget about like what the regular lives are. Like when I'm, let's say, like, just the example, if I'm streaming, it's not because I'm trying to make money. Obviously, I'm not making money. That's okay. Like I'm trying to be someone's escape, just entertain, make people laugh, and
yeah,
have a fun day. Like,
and that's why I've been around people in the military long enough to
yeah,
you know what they're going through. You know what they're going to be going to do. You know, they fight overseas, they see all this stuff and when they come back, that's why you see a bunch of veterans are joking so much because
right.
they have seen things that people around the civilian life style
Yep.
don't understand. And when they come home, you know, they're out there, they're coming home, they're with their buddies, they're laughing, they're joking and having fun. Don't
Yes.
don't shame someone for having fun. You
Exactly.
only have one chance on this in your life.
Exactly.
So if I'm gonna go out, say I go out tomorrow, you know I'm done for tomorrow. That tomorrow could be my last day. I
I could
want
get hit by lightning randomly or something.
I'm gonna go out either fighting like a man, or I'm gonna be laughing like a man.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
will make jokes even if I am put on an oxygen tank.
Right. I'm gonna end my like when they see me die in the hospital. Any last words? I'll be like, I'll go out with a joke and a smile on my face. That
No,
kind of thing.
see, I don't just want oxygen access. I want access to helium.
Oh yeah, yeah. That'd be,
Cause
dude. I could just picture that now,
like
because like your voice will be changing in the different pitches, and you, dude. That that makes sense.
can you
That makes
imagine?
sense.
Can you imagine hearing me in a hospital bed? You know, he's got 10 minutes. He's got 10 minutes left to live, and I look at you, and I just with the most plain face go, "Have you seen Chris Griffin?"
Dude, yes, yes.
Nobody in their mind would be like, "Okay, yeah, this guy is like crazy." No, I am prepared for what's on the other side.
Yeah, you just want everyone's last moment to be happy and full of laughter.
Exactly. I
Exactly,
don't want them
exactly.
yeah, reality is gonna kick in somewhere.
Oh yeah,
Reality will kick in somewhere that he has passed away. But
yes, but at least they left you with a good smile on their face.
I want to go out making people laugh. I don't want to go out like, oh, remember me. No, I want people to
Yeah.
be like, yeah, I remember the last thing he said. He made me pee myself.
Yes, exactly. That would be the memory to leave behind. The good
Mm-hmm.
memory. Exactly. I honestly made the joke to someone. I said, if I'm ever dead at my funeral, like I told someone like in my will, it's gonna say something like when they lower me in the casket, like oh, I don't want them to be sad. I want them to play some sort of funny like music or something though, like as them putting me in the ground,
I
like
want them to
you know,
play
like
when they're putting me in the ground.
yes,
I want them to play either the YMCA or the Macarena.
yeah. I
Cue the
honestly made a
shuffle.
joke because I'm also a video game. Like I'd like them to do the theme from Mario Brothers play, and then it goes to the underground theme or something like something like it'll
Bada
be
bada bada.
remembered.
Bada
Yep.
bada bada.
And then when it's actually getting lowered into the ground, like all the way, it's when they start playing afterwards. They play the underground theme song of the underground level.
Exactly. You know, yeah, are
Exactly.
people gonna be sad and upset and
Oh
cry when
yeah,
I'm gone,
yeah,
but that's not how I want to go out. The way I want to go out is
yeah.
let them know that I lived a great happy life. A great life.
Exactly. It's something they wouldn't expect to hear at the funeral either afterwards. To be like that was in his will to do that, or if he was going to come back from beyond the grave as a ghost and get us.
Like
And they'll have him read that out. That'll be in the will too. Like afterwards, they're like, yeah, he wanted us to. He left specific instructions to do that, or he's going to come back as a ghost and get us, or
see
something.
speaking
And
of
have him do that.
ghosts and afterlife,
Oh well.
I have seen posts where people say I'm not the spirit that sits on your when I die, I won't be the spirit that sits on your shoulder and comforts you. I'm going to be the reason you run up the stairs after shutting the lights off.
Accurate, accurate.
I was like, these some of these are so funny that
I would probably be the one that's gonna make him laugh from beyond the grave. If I
yeah,
came back, I'd be like, "Hey, you mind if I come back for just a few seconds, like after I die, just so I could like scare him in a fun way as a last prank from beyond the grave,
like
kind of thing,
if you could
like a
write
last laugh."
anything on your tombstone, that would be hilarious. What would it be?
Yeah. Oh, good question. Hmm. Hmm. I'd be like. He died doing what he. It'd be something clever. I had to think of something clever. He died doing what he loved, being a ginger and finding four-leaf clovers to have a good luck up until he died, or something. I don't know. I'd come up with something better, but it'd be like
mine would
he.
personally have to be if
Yeah,
I had to
it'd have
choose. Mine would either say he ran out of beer or he ran out of tacos.
Actually, now that I think about it, I have one that would work because I find something that actually happens to me a lot. I find four-leaf clovers a lot, like real four-leaf clovers in real life all the time. Like it's kind of crazy. So I'd be like, he finally stopped fighting in 40th Clover, so it looks like his luck ran out. My good luck streak finally ended. I ran out of 40th Clovers.
No,
Or something like that.
it just has to be saying respawning
Yeah.
in 3, 2, 1 connection error.
Yes, dude, that would actually be perfect for me. I
Or
feel like
or
he ran out of one up mushrooms.
mine's gonna say game over. That's what it's gonna say.
Yes, mine should be not that, but it'd be like something similar, because it makes sense. Because I spent a lot of life doing a lot of playing video games, which I still do. Obviously, I've grown up playing video games and stuff.
Well,
So it'd be something funny, like gaming related. I just can't think of it right now, but I have ideas. I have
I'm
ideas.
highly interested in hearing what some of these ideas are gonna be.
Oh yeah, maybe they'll be revealed on future podcasts, or maybe they will be revealed when I'm actually dead. Who knows? Find out eventually.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. Just view the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, and maybe one day we'll find the answer.
Yeah, we'll find the answer to a few of these questions later.
Yeah, whether it's that one or some of the other ones, you'll never know. We'll definitely have to do more.
Like,
You better tune in, or I will haunt you while I'm alive, and I will haunt you from the grave.
the Jinja Ninja's coming for you.
Yeah, the one ninja that always see you coming, just because of how pale I am.
Where does he shine a
'Cause I-
flashlight? He'll glow like a disco ball.
He's so pale he glows in the dark. True fact story. There's actually a photo of me looking so pale one time as a kid. I was even more pale than this, and that's pretty pale right now. It literally looked like I was glowing in the dark. And I made the joke as a kid. I'm like, yeah, if you lose your keys in like the dark, you won't need a flashlight. I'm already a nightlight. And they laughed like at the time. I said that as a kid, and people cracked up. Like, who needs a flashlight when you have me around? Because I glow in the dark, and there's actually a photo of me looking like it's a really old photo of me looking like I'm glowing in the dark, a pale ghost light. It's kind of crazy. The craziest thing is thinking I'm more like there's actually a time where I was even more pale than I am now, and I'm pretty pale, so that says a lot.
Yeah, that says quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen my selfies, obviously. Discord,
Yeah,
other places. Yeah,
you are
that's fine.
you are white beyond white, my friend.
In the way that isn't bad.
No, your man
Because,
is white.
yeah, exactly. There we go. Magic Gathering reference. Good. Or just sorry, my stomach. I'm coughing a little bit. Stomach hurting. It's okay. I'm okay.
Well, that about wraps up this
Yeah.
this podcast.
Episode 1.
Yeah.
So what are we calling this? Are we already? Oh, what did we ever think of an actual name for this? Honestly, or are we just gonna call it like
I'm just calling it
something?
podcast.
Yeah, episode 1 of. I mean, at this point, you said Goonsquad's your one server, and
Yeah.
I'm a ginger, so
Goonsquad,
I mean, if we combine our names, the
Goonsquad,
ginger Goonsquad.
No.
No.
No. Well,
Think of a name.
I will think of something eventually. And if you
But I mean, for episode 1,
if you made it this far into this podcast, I bless you.
I mean, if you made it this far, then you're a trooper. And we love you.
Like
We love you long time.
for free. These podcasts are just gonna end up being weird at one point.
I mean, we might as well just call it the Weird Podcast at that point, or something. I don't know. We'll think of an actual name eventually. Maybe we should just have the viewers vote names in the comments on what to call this. That's probably a good idea. I don't know, like good name. Maybe
after editing, something is bound to pop up.
I know what's about to pop up, but we can't talk about that on the podcast. Boom, boom, boom. There's something you edit in, the sound there.
Yep, and that's where I call the ending of this podcast.
Yeah, no. But before we go, we just say thank you for anyone who ends up watching this. Subscribe to his YouTube.
You guys can follow me on Twitter, and that's really all I have. You know, the only social media I really go on when it comes to like YouTube business is Twitter.
Okay,
I don't
but they
really,
could also follow
yeah,
your YouTube.
yeah. You guys
Plug your own YouTube. Come on, man.
plug in my own YouTube for a video that is on YouTube now.
I mean, who knows? Because someone might come to my YouTube and not know you, so I want to plug us both. You know, we'll plug each other.
I'll send you my link.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was just being funny, but yeah. So let's see. Follow him on Twitter at
It's at Cyrus Chase 51.
nice. And if you want to like follow me on Twitter at I think it says what's it say now on my Twitter? I'm on there all the time, and I don't know what I changed. Well, or okay, let's start with my YouTube. Follow me at Ginger Dark Matter on YouTube. If you want to watch game streams on Twitch when I'm live randomly, Reckoner Mikey Dark Matter on Twitch. The longest name people keep saying they've ever seen on like Twitch. I take that, I guess, as a compliment. I mean, how else are you supposed to take it? Because it's never in back. And then okay, so yeah, at Reckoner Mikey or Ginger Dark Matter on Twitter.
What's your Twitter?
So that covers my Twitter is yeah. It says at Reckoner Mikey, but it will say Ginger Dark Matter. So I mean, you're right both ways. You'll find me. It's a picture of my pale face with glasses and a hat and my headset on. I'm pretty sure you'll find it, people.
I can't.
It says
even,
at
I can't even find you on here.
Reckoner Mikey, and then like because it says the at symbol is Reckoner Mikey. But it'll say Ginger Dark Matter as my username on Twitter. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Do you not see me? Can't see me. My time's then. John Cena reference. And the podcast
no,
man.
At John Cena, I cannot find you, Mikey.
Oh God! I didn't say at John Cena. That was a joke.
No,
that last part was.
You're gonna have to send it to me via Discord. I just can't find it.
Holy crap! I mean, I don't have you. I've never even seen you Twitter, so I don't think we have each other on there. Okay, well, if you
guys manage to make it this far, you understand that there's gonna be more coming.
There's always more coming, if done correctly. Podcasts. Talk about podcasts.
Oh yes, podcasts are always coming.
Anyways.
Anyway,
I mean, I don't know.
That's where I'm wrapping it. That's where I'm wrapping it up.
Remember, always wrap it up afterwards. I mean, the podcast.
I'll see you guys in the next podcast. Peace.
Yes. Peace. Peace out.